Hello, myself I am Dr. Kavishriyan, Associate Professor, Department of MCA SSIT Tumkur. So I am going to take about the class about Introduction to Devops. So in that Introduction to Devops, first agenda is about, when we have been going to talk about the DevOps, first we have to learn about the agile methodology. So in the agile, we are going to do the things, whatever the things we will be having here is software development life cycle, waterfall approach. In that, advantages and disadvantages we will be discussing agile methodologies and operational methodologies of ITIL. These are all the things we are going to learn in this session. So first is about the software development life cycle. In the software development life cycle, there are requirement analysis, design, development, testing, release, and the maintenance. So we will be discussing one after the other about all the steps in the software development life cycle. That is, first and foremost is software development life cycle. In that, the requirement analysis. What do you mean by the requirement analysis? Encounter the majority of the problems. What are all the problems we will be having in by the clients, that we will be discussing, and then find the common languages between the people outside of the IT and the people in IT. Okay, that is what are all the things the client will be telling, whatever the client will be telling, the IT people will be developing the software for that. Leads to the different problems around the terminology. What are all the problems we will be facing, and what are all the things we have to develop, all the things we will be discussing in the terminology. Business flow being captured incorrectly, and iterative approaches will be discussed in the requirement analysis. Next, in the requirement analysis, the client will be telling the picture like this. The customer requirement is have one trunk, have four legs, should carry a load both passengers and the cargo, black in color, should be a herbivorous. So we will be, the IT people will be developing like this. That is, having one trunk. With the buffalo, they are been developing having one trunk, have the four legs. Yeah, you can see the picture. Should carry a load both the passengers and cargo. This is a passenger and the cargo that is having. And then black in color, yes, it is a black in color. Should be herbivorous. Yeah, buffalo is a herbivorous animal. One more added value added thing is also gives the milk. That is one of the solutions they have been given. This is the requirement what the client has been asked, and the IT people have been developed like this. Next, design phase. Next is the design phase. The design our flow in the language that the IT crowd can understand straight away, overlaps with the requirement analysis, desirable as a diagrams or perfect middle language that we are been looking for, minimal viable product. Okay, whatever the requirements they have been given by the client, they have been developing in a design wise, and they will be given to the client. Next is development. Okay, that is software is built depend upon the design. Next, the software will be build technical artifacts that work and according to the potential flat specification. Our software is going to be a imperfect, deliver early and deliver often in the mantra followed to minimize the impact of the wrong specification. The stakeholders can test product before the problems is too big to be tackled. Involving the stakeholders early enough is the good strategy. No matter what we do, our software has to be modular, so we can plug and play the modules in order to accommodate a new requirement. That is, what are all the things we have been developed, that in the development stage the stakeholders should have that things, and then they will be given to the client. Next is testing phase. In the testing phase, continuous integration server will run the testing and inform us about the potential problem in the application. Whatever the development team has been given, they will be testing, the testing people will be testing whether whatever the developed software is correct or not, whether it is working or not. that it will be done over here. Depending upon the complexity of the software, testing can be very extensive. So depending upon the development, it may take so many time to test the software. Continuous integration server focuses on running the integration and the acceptance. Okay, the software, whatever the input has been given for that for that input, whether the software is giving the correct output or not, it will be checking out. Next is the release. After testing the things, next we have to release the software by the IT people, deliver the software to what we call the production. The production, what they have been given, that the production has to be given to the client. There will be a bugs, and the reason why we planned our software to be able to fix the problem quickly. If it is having the, after delivering the things to the client or releasing the things, whether the client will be checking and they will be having some bugs, then they will be cleaning out all the bugs, clear the bugs, and then they will be giving back to the client with quick. Create something called as a continuous delivery pipeline. Enables the developer to execute, build, test, deploy cycles very quickly. Deploy equal to release. That is, deployment is what, whatever the things it has having the bugs, that will be cleared and the software will be released. Next we will be having the maintenance. That is, there are two types of maintenance, evaluation and the corrective. What do you mean by the evaluation? The evaluative maintenance evolve the software by adding a new functionalities or the improving the business flow to suit the business needs. What are all the things it will be having, that adding a new functionality, that is, if for example, if the mobile will be having something in the older model, they will be adopting some new thing to the newer model, and they will be adopting that functionality for improving the business flow to suit the business needs. Corrective maintenance is one where we fix the bugs and misconceptions. Okay, whatever the software it has been developed, that we are been maintaining, whether whatever the things the software people has been developed, that we are been maintaining correctly. Minimize the latter, but we cannot totally avoid. This we will be doing in the maintenance phase. Next is the, this completes the waterfall model. Next we are been going to talk about this completes our software development life cycle. Next we are going to talk about the waterfall model. Okay, waterfall model and the feedback in the waterfall model. Classical life cycle or a black box model, we will be calling it as a classical life cycle or a black box model. Sequential in nature, systematic sequential approach to the software development that begins with the customer specification of the requirement and the progresses through the planning, modeling, construction and the deployment, communicating ongoing software of the completed software. So what are all the things we will be having here is analysis, design, implementation, testing, deployment and the maintenance phase. So in that phases, what are all the requirement definitions we will be having? What are all the things already the software is having, and what the requirement we have to gather, that we will be doing in a requirement definition. Next, to that requirement, system and the software design will be done, and then with that design, implementation and the unit testing will be conducted, and integration of the system testing, and last the operation and the maintenance will be done. In the requirement phase, what are all the things they will be having already, and then what are all the things needed, that we will be gathering over here. With that gathering, we will be designing the software according to the requirement. For that design, we will be checking one by one whether it is working or not, that is in a unit testing. Whether the software is working or not, one by one, that part by part we will be checking, that is unit testing. And altogether we will be combining integration and the system testing will be done, and operation and the maintenance at the last we will be doing. Okay. Next is what are all the advantages we will be having in a waterfall model. Easy to use and the flow. It is very easy and the flow will be very comfortable. Cost effectiveness, each phase completely developed. And then development processed is sequential manner, so very less chance of rework. Easy to manage the project, easy documentation will be developed. These are all the advantages of waterfall model. Next, what are all the drawbacks we will be having in a waterfall model is the main drawback of the waterfall model is the difficulty of accommodating the changes after the process is underway. If the requirement process is wrong, then overall project will be wrong. So it is the phase we cannot go back. For that purpose, this is the main thing we will be not using in a software. So in the principle, in the principal phase has to be completed before moving on to the next phase. If any changes the client will be asking in the next phase, if you have been moving, then we cannot change the phase. For that purpose, we have to get approval from the client before developing any of the things. Inflexible partitioning of the project into the distinct stages makes it difficult to respond to changing the customer requirements. Therefore, this model is only appropriate when the requirements are well understood and changes will be fairly limited during the design process. Few business systems have stable requirements. Does the waterfall ends? No, the waterfall model is mostly used for the large systems engineering projects where the system is developed at the several sites. In those circumstances, a plan-driven nature of the waterfall model helps to coordinate the work. Okay, when to apply this waterfall model, that is requirement, fixed schedule, fixed budget, then we can upload the waterfall model. Okay, next we will be going for the agile, need of agile. Why we need to go for agile? The software will produce a wrong product, the project will produce a product of inferior quality, the project will be late, we will have to work 80 hours week, we have to break commitments, we won't be having fun. For that purpose, we will be Storm called Agile. According to the version 1, the state of Agile report in the 2017 says 94% of the organization practices Agile, and in 2018 it is reported 97% organization practices the Agile development methods. So in the waterfall model we will be using if you have been completed we cannot go back. For that purpose we will be going for the agile method. The project will produce a wrong product gives to the client, they will be not coming again for the same company for giving the project. So we will be using the agile. What are all the principles of agile methodology? 12 principles we will be having in agile methodology. That is first one is our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of the valuable software. So whatever the client will be asking or the customer will be asking, we have to give it earlier. So the customer will be happy and they will be giving the project again and again. For that purpose, we will be using the agile. One of the principles we will be using in agile. Next, welcome changing the requirement. Even late in the development, the agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantages. Here, what are all the things we will be having here is, in the waterfall model, we cannot go back and we cannot change the things. In the agile, we can change and we can develop the software. Deliver the working software frequently from a couple of weeks to the couple of months with a preference of the shorter time scale. So, if the customer will be asking for a week of a period, we have to deliver means, or they will be given the time slot, then we have to work it and we have to give it back. The business people and the developer must work together daily throughout the project. Build the projects around the motivated individual, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. The most efficient and effective method of conveying the information to and within the development team is face-to-face conversations will be done. That is, in the waterfall model, we will be not doing any of the conversation with the clients. In the agile methodology, we will, after developing one of the phase, then we will be calling the customers, we will be discussing what are all the things needed and what we have been done, whether they have the changes in that. So we will be incorporate that changes in this method. Working the software is a primary measures of the progress. The agile processes promote the sustainable development. Sponsors, developers and the users should be able to maintain a constant phase indefinitely. A continuous attention to the technical excellence and the good design enhances the agility. Next, simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. The best architecture requirement and the design emerges from the self-organizing teams. At the regular interval, the team reflect on how to become the more effective, then tunes and adjust its behavior accordingly. These are all the 12 principles we will be using in developing the agile. Next, agile focuses on individuals and the interactions. For every phase, they will be asking the clients to come and they will be discussing together so that what are all the things, changes the clients wants, what they have been developed, whether they have been satisfied, that interaction will be done in every phase of the software. Working of the software and the customer collaboration will be done corresponding to the changes, following the plan. Contract negotiation will be done, comprehensive documentation will be done for every changes, and the process and the tools will be incorporated for the, these are all the things we will be focusing on the agile. Next, agile brings what it will be bringing: effective, rapid and adaptive responses to the change. Okay, whenever the customer will be asking the changes, rapidly they will be changing without any disturbances to the other phases of the software. Effective communication among all the stakeholders, so that all customers should happy, so that the communication among the stakeholders will be done. Drawing the customers onto the team, where it will be asking for what are all the changes they will be asking, they will be noting and they will be incorporating that one. Organizing the team so that it is in control of the work performed. Next, what are all the methodologies we will be using in Agile as Scrum, Extreme Programming Test, Driven Development, Test-Driven Development, Feature-Driven Development, and the Behavior-Driven Development. Okay, Scrum. When we will be using the Scrum for the complex software development, we will be for project management. For that purpose, we will be team collaboration. For that purpose, we will be using the Scrum. Extreme programming test will be done for any programming languages. We have to incorporate any of the things, then we will be using the extreme programming test. Test driven development, it is any test, if it has been incorporated early in the earlier phase, it will be not working. If the customer has been changed something, then it has been incorporated, then it will be testing together. That for that purpose, the test driven development. And the future driven development is what future things, what are all it has to be incorporated in that. For that purpose, this methodology will be working. And the behavior driven development, how the software will be working, whether it is working properly or not, all the things it will be gathered over here. These are all the methodologies we will be given in the agile methodology. These are all the methodologies we will be using in the agile. Next, roles in agile: user, product owner, software development team. User is what? The customer, overall the customer, the client, overall the using that software is the user. And the product owner is what? Whether they have been given to the customer, he will be becoming the product owner for that software. And whoever is developing the software, developing the software, that is the software development team, that is, these are all the roles in the agile. That is, user is what? User gives the details about the software, what it has to be developed from the IT company. And the product owner is what? Whatever they have been developed and it has been incorporated to the user is the product owner. And for that product, whoever is going to develop that software is the software development team. Next is operational methodology, that is ITIL, information technology and the information library. It is ITIL is a framework of best practices for delivering the IT services. The ITIL process within the IT service management ensures the IT services are provided in a focused, client-friendly and a cost-optimized manner. ITIL's systematic approach to the IT service management can have the business like manage the risk, strengthen the customer relations, establish the cost-effective practices, and build a stable IT environment. So, what do you mean by the information technology and the information library? Here, information, that is manage the risk. What are all the risk they will be having in a software, they will be managing. And then strengthen the customer relationship, that is within the time, if it has been developed and it has been given to the customer will be happy and they will be giving the again the software to that company only. That is building. Whenever the customer will be coming, we should give the feedback about what the software it has been developed, what are all the things the customer will be having, that it has been incorporated, all those things it will be strengthening the software, strengthening the customer relationship. Establish the cost effective practices, that is what are all the needs they will be having from the customer. Within the requirement only they have to finish the software in developing the things. And then build a stable IT environment, that is if you have been given the things in a correct time, then it will be having the IT environment, to build a stable IT environment that allows for the growth, scale and the changes in the things. So, this is about the ITIL. In the next class, we will be discussing about the IT services management, how it will be done, life cycle and all those things. So, I will end this session and I will be continuing in the next classes. Thank you.